So, we're at the fork in the road. We can either stay a little bit longer or just leave. And you know, probably the correct choice is stay a little longer, but I want to see what happens if we just go. So, let's leave. Let's go. Very well. Nothing bad will happen, right? If we just leave, you know, without doing anything special other than doing what we intended to do, right? Well, having finished what we set out to do, we make our way to the mansion's entrance hall. The large door stands there, firmly shut, holding in the darkness as it has for countless generations. But that time is almost at an end. The door ready to be opened. To end the cycle and begin anew. I never thought I would see the day. I never thought this door would ever need to be opened. There's a world of light waiting out there, I'm sure of it. Light, hardly a friend to me. You don't need to be afraid of it anymore. Are you not at all worried? There's no guarantee any hope lies beyond that door. After all, when the mansion disappears, so too will we. And there's the rightful state of things. Our present forms may cease to exist, but our souls will live on. Also accidentally. I feel like I do that sometimes. I said like double tap the enter keys, at least what I use for advancing the text. Anyway, and so long as they do, we will eventually return to the world. Let us press onward, not fearing a temporary end. She gives a barely noticeable nod. We step into the large door, standing side by side, each placing a hand on its hard surface. The end at last is within our reach. We need merely cross the barrier. I take in a deep breath. Look up at the door and slowly push it open, welcoming the future it holds. What is it? It's... Burn the witch. What? Nani? We take one step back and then another. What we find outside is not a blinding realm of light, but churning blackness and a stench of blood and rust. Metal clanks, growing louder with each heavy footstep of the approaching night. Oh, it's you, it's this guy. It's Didier. Death to the unholy. 3 days and 3 nights, hanged upon the cross. Purified by the fires of heaven. Death. What's going on? I never summoned this thing. Even though we're no longer holding hands, I can feel Morgana trembling. She's no longer the witch, the once absolute ruler of this domain, but a frightened young girl. Placing my arms around her shoulders and pulling her in, I stare, half dumbfounded at the night. It is our holy duty, as knights of the church, to deliver punishment unto the heathen who made a pact with the devil. The night draws nearer and nearer, its movement sluggish but constant. Didier, crucify the witch. Cast judgment upon the demon. The word witch, coming from Delirious' vengeful phantom's mouth, proves far more distressful for Morgana than me. Please, come to your senses, Didier. I know it's you. Judgment, crucifixion, execution. Didier. No, I'm not a witch. The night is partially occluded by the dark, writhing miasma enveloping him, but he bears the same muscular build as the Didier I knew in life. And he's unwaveringly determined to see us executed. He draws ever nearer, pushing us back into the mansion. Morgana, if you run into Giselle up there, take care of her, okay? What? You must make it outside. Michelle, only your soul has the power to destroy the mansion. Crucify the witch. The knight slams an armored foot against the ground, and he raises his blade, shooing. I grab Morgana by the shoulders and shove her out the door. Michelle! Once she's beyond the barrier, her body quickly fades out of sight. Meanwhile, death! Ah! The knight's blade pierces my breast in the very same place it did at my life's end. Despite not having a body of flesh, blood spurts from the wound, staining my clothes red and dripping down my chest to form a puddle beneath me. Didier, it is my duty to punish the impure. Didier, please, to uphold the Bollinger name, or rather, I keep saying that word wrong, by the way. It's Bollinger, I think, Bollinger, or something. I don't know. It's supposed to be like a French name, I think, as I've learned. But I've actually forgot how to say it. Bollinger, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, uphold the family name. Snap out of it. It is my duty as the eldest son. Didier, it looks like you're the same as us, trapped by your own curse, shackled by the weight of all your responsibilities. As a knight, as the firstborn son, it is my duty to kill the witch. This doesn't have to go on any longer. Didier, if I could release you from those bonds, but I no longer can. If I don't do something though, you're liable to spend eternity drifting through the darkness in the chains of your obsession, which leaves me one option to provide you salvation. Didier, I'll save you, Didier. I'll save you from your duty. Do you remember when you and Georges would practice sword fighting out in the courtyard? I always wanted to join you, but I never did get the chance. I wanted to hold a sword in my hands. I wanted you to teach me how to use it. This is not how I was hoping our first match would go, because I have my own sword, on guard! Unfortunately, I have no other choice. Gathering what remains of my strength, I wish. I've held that blade before, so it should respond to my call. It's like a key blade, you know, Kingdom Hearts. The blade with which I extinguished the white-haired girl. Didier! Clasping my hands around the hilt, I point the longsword at Didier and thrust it into his chest. He staggers, falling into me. As I lack the strength to support his muscular body, the two of us go down together, landing in the pool of blood below. Didier, I won't leave you alone. We'll both vanish from this world together. I'm sorry, Giselle. It doesn't look like we'll be seeing each other again. It doesn't look like I'll be able to take your hand and tell you how much I adore your smile. Mine and my brother's souls are going to meet their eternal end here. Never will I have the chance to be with you again. I beg of you to please forgive me for being incapable of making any other choice. I just couldn't leave my brother behind. I'm so sorry. And I pray, Giselle, that there might be a bountiful light in your life. I assume that's a bad end, yep. Yay. So I don't really get exactly why Didier was the one that tried to kill, or, well, he succeeded. He didn't try, he literally killed Michelle. But maybe, I mean, I guess as a hint, is like, maybe it's because he prioritized his duty as a knight, I guess. Like, the church told him to kill, you know, the witch in the house, even though he knew it was Michelle. Ultimately, he decided to follow the church's teachings rather than, you know, his family ties, or at least the ones he had with Michelle anyway. I don't know. No idea. I don't know what his other brother was doing as well, by the way. You know, the painter artist guy, the happy-go-lucky, you know, hey everybody, I'm just your brother. I'm an idiot, but like, you know? And my wife is like a crazy, well, I was gonna say a bad word, but she kind of deserves it. You know what I'm gonna say? She's a crazy bitch, okay? Like, come on. She deserves it. Sometimes I feel like people are a little bit too harsh when describing, people they don't like. But that girl, definitely, she's a bitch. Anyway, let's go back here though. So alright, so obviously that was the wrong decision. Instead of immediately trying to leave and meeting with our brother, or Oni-chan, and him killing us, let's go somewhere else, I guess. There's one more stop. I'm not entirely sure where we're going exactly, but I don't know. I'll assume Michelle knows. There's one more stop to make. There's still one more soul that needs releasing. I mean, I assume Giselle, right? That's the only one, right? Or maybe the painter guy? Well, I'm not really was he a painter? But the guy in the painting, rather, right? Was he like a thing, I think? I remember, actually, yeah, there's like one guy in the painting that told us how to get the key in the first place. At least the first key, anyway. Or something like that? Can't remember, it's been so long, but... it's like the one guy we talk in the painting. Be my guide. I remember. Either that or Giselle, I'm not sure. Anyway, still holding Morgana's hand, I make my way to the wall, where the landscape painting hangs. Yeah, I think it's the painting, which we don't really know who it was exactly. Who is it exactly? You told me to come back if I figured out your name, Georges. Ah, okay, it's Georges. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I was just talking about him. Hey, Michelle. Hello. How'd you figure it was me? Of course I recognize my own brother. Well, granted I didn't recognize you at first. It's not every day your big bro winds up as a painting, huh? He's painting so much to become a painting. It came as quite a surprise when I finally made the connection. I'll bet it did. Hold on a minute. You two are brothers. I assume you knew. Oh, hello there. What the companion you've got there, Michelle? So what brings you two to my little corner of the house? I've decided I'm going to extinguish the mansion. Oh really? Well, isn't that something? You act like I just told you what I'm having for supper. This place is going to disappear forever. Well yeah, sure, but what brought about this? I've lost interest in cursing them. Ah, well now that's some good news. You seem to get along surprisingly well with her. Well, time out the hoo-ha. Anybody else to talk to you? Time out the hoo-ha. The hoo-ha? What's a hoo-ha? Hoo-ha's. Time out the hoo-ha and nobody else to talk to do that to you. Not that she ever gave me the time of day much. You expect me to stand here listening to you yammer on for hours on end. The only thing you're good for is tossing rubbish into. That's what you did. You actually used them as a trash can, actually. Wait, so she was the one who put the master bedroom key in the painting? That she was. Just tossed it right on in without even asking. Why would you get rid of the key to my room? I had no use for it. And being in that room always made me feel uncomfortable. It has this terrible warmth to it. I couldn't stand it. Ah. Sure glad she only tossed the key, though. Would've been bad if she'd thrown me out with it. I didn't see the need. I did find it curious that there was a soul here I hadn't summoned, but you were ultimately harmless, so I simply pretended you weren't there. So she ignored him for hundreds of years. Talk about a cold shoulder. I understand now what you meant, Michelle. When you said this world didn't belong only to me, your brother was able to find his way here because it's a place deeply bound to your soul. Oh, I'm no expert on all this spiritual stuff. All I know is one day I was just here and full of regret. So if I had to guess, I'd say I probably ended up here because I wanted to be somewhere I could feel you, Michelle. Georges, would you be so kind to let me apologize? I know quite well how sorry you are, and you've already apologized once, besides. I went years not seeing you, not hearing from you, not having an idea what you thought about me. So when I got that painting, it was a huge blow to me emotionally. But talking to you again has reminded me what kind of person you really are, Georges. You didn't mean to hurt me. No? Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. Mom said paint it, so I painted it. Okay, so he did all the paintings. Especially the one, the shell is like a girl or whatever. And when she told me she'd set it off to you, I really didn't think anything of it. It never even crossed my mind to think about how you felt out there, all alone. The kind of pain you're going through just because of the way you were born. When you're not the one on the receiving end, it's easy to be completely blind to your own actions. It never even occurred to me that we essentially exiled you, Michelle. Not until it was all over. Really, all I can say is, sorry you got stuck with such a dope for a brother. All I had to do was think about it for 2 seconds, and I would have realized what we were doing. You know, at the time I thought, what's it matter if you're a guy or a girl, you're still you. But I was wrong. It's not that simple. I can only imagine someone coming up to me one day and saying, nah, you're actually a girl. And everyone I care about suddenly not wanting anything to do with me. What a drag that'll be. What a drag. I'm real sorry, bro. It's okay, Georges, I forgive you. Thanks. I wanted so badly to see you and Didier again, Georges. While I didn't get that chance in life, I'm so glad to have the opportunity to talk to you now. To hear the things you've never got to say. It pains me to see you reduced to this form, but knowing that it's a result of overwhelming regret, that you were just that desperate to find me again, it warms my heart. But what on earth was that? He tried that my dad is not the person to tears. I don't think I've worked very well, though. Does the canvas look wet? Could you feel it for me? I think I'll pass. Not feeling up for any brotherly love. Honestly, I'm relieved to see you're still the same Georges I always knew. Changing ain't really my thing, after all. I suppose it isn't. This doesn't sit right with me. What? Why not? You're letting him off the hook far too easily, Michelle. I know very well just how much pain that painting caused you. It might as well have been what resurrected me. I've moved past that, though. Make him pay for what he did. Scribble on him. Scribble! Do what? Scrawl your anger all over that ridiculous painting. But I'm not angry. That's a damn fine idea if I've ever heard one. You most definitely need to make me pay, Michelle. Georges. Go on. Hit me with everything you got. Scribble away. Well, even if I wanted to, I have nothing to draw with. Just use your finger and I'll trace it out for you. Come on, what are you waiting for? He really wants me to draw on him, doesn't he? He more than deserves it, Michelle. Bring it on, Michelle. Just bring it on, draw on me. This conversation got bizarre real fast. Okay, I'll draw on you. Family. Oh my. Now that is downright ghastly. What? You might actually have potential, Michelle. Voodoo dolls are the last thing I expected from you. More of that. And a demonic being alongside them. Like, what was that was it? It's ugly speckles, right? Oh, good old ugly speckles. Oh, I could just feel your burning rancor, Michelle. That's not what I drew at all. What? Then what is it? It's not important. You know, it was family. It's him, his brother, I guess. I don't know actually. I don't know, is his mother maybe? Or maybe it's just him, or maybe him right here. Giselle, Didier and Georges, and ugly speckles, you know? Living together, happy family or whatever, you know? Is the idea anyway. Well, now that that's finished, I think it's time we all took our leave. Oh, can I come too? Well, I might need a little help with that, Michelle. As you can see, walking ain't one of my talents. That's alright, I'll carry you. Careful taking me off my hook. By all means, feel free to drop it, Michelle. So sassy. So sassy, Morgana. You haven't lost your sass. And I like that. Anyway, Morgana is, I would say, best waifu in this visual novel. I must say, that is a rather amusing sight. She's smiling again. Well, it's definitely not very every day you get to see a full-grown man-turned painting being hauled down Speaker Hall by his little bro. Georges. It does make me wonder, though. Are you two really brothers? I have a hard time believing you share even a drop of blood with this obnoxious lout, Michelle. We are brothers, right, Georges? Well, don't you start questioning it too, Michelle. We are absolutely positively 100% brothers. She has a good point, though. We don't even look that much alike. No shocking family plot twists here. Or no shocking family plot twists here. I've known you since you were a baby, Michelle. Maybe you were secretly illegitimate Georges, not me. Oh, you're not gonna let go of this, are you? I'm just playing with you. Oh my god, you just laughed. Disgusting. Yes? What? I didn't get to see it. What was it like? Give me all details. An ordinary laugh. Is the world ending? It's not that big of a deal. I laugh just like everyone else. No, you most certainly do not. Nope, you definitely don't. Well, so much for my tearful reunion with the brother I always knew and loved. Anyway, well, since we're bringing character here, how about one for our favorite witch too? I know cackling doesn't count. Excuse me, why would you want me to? Because every time I've seen you smile, it's never been about anything good. Plus, now that you got your face back, you're actually quite the looker. Go on, give me a big old grin. Not happening. Come on. Okay, fine. If you don't want to do it for me, pretend it's for Michelle. By the way, George, I imagine George's would be if this game was voiced. I don't think it ever was. I mean, there's like the remake, I think, the remastered version, but I don't think that they had. As far as I know, I don't remember if they had voices. Maybe they did. I don't know. But if there was like English dub, George's would be voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. You know, that's his personality. He's just Yuri Lowenthal. It's him. Anyway. Come on, so if you don't want to do it for me, pretend it's for Michelle. What do I have to do with anything? You could do it for old Michelle, can't you? Show him those pearly whites, girly. Oh, if you insist, I suppose I can spot for Michelle, but only him. Excuse me, was that supposed to be my voice? Because I do not sound anything like that. Haha, look at you, you all puffy your cheeks and red in the face. Georges, try not to tease her too much. I don't know how anyone can stand you. It's like every word that comes out of your mouth exists solely to ruin the mood. You know, maybe it wouldn't hurt to lighten up a bit. This is the end of a long journey, but that doesn't mean we have to make it somber and an uptight affair. I am genuinely not sure how I feel about you, the most somberly uptight man I know, telling me to lighten up. She's got a point. But I'm not that bad, am I? Michelle always says that, by the way. It's like, I'm not that bad, am I? Anyway. Shall we be off now? That we shall. The witch and her band of merry men departs. I'm not sure if one person a talking painting constitutes a band. Giselle, I know we'll find each other again, and I have faith we will. We'll cast away this mansion's darkness, and then I'll await your return, no matter how long it takes. Yes, I think it's time we took our leave. Having finished what we set out to do and retrieved George's as well, we make our way to the mansion's entrance hall. The large door stands there firmly shut, holding in the darkness as it has for countless generations. Oh boy, is Didier gonna show up again? But that time is almost at an end. The door ready to be opened. To end the cycle and begin anew. Being a painter for all these years, I never realized just how big a place this was. All I ever got to see was a hallway and maybe a couple doors. I mean, talk about dull, you know. Feels like I'm on an adventure exploring a whole new world. A very, very dark world. Michelle, would you mind shutting him up? If only it were that simple. Can you blame me for being talkative? It was a lonely life. That'd be fine if you had any concept of the appropriate time and place to be chatty. Are you aware of where we are right now? The entrance by the look of things. Precisely. The end to a centuries-long act of vengeance is but a few feet beyond that door, and you're chatting away like it's another day at the court. Try to maintain at least a semblance of gravity, if you would. I'm starting to notice you're rather ceremonious, aren't you, Morgana? This is a day to be celebrated, not to be all stiff and no fun allowed. Are you not all that worried? There's no guarantee any hope lies beyond that door. After all, when the mansion disappears, so too will we. And that's the rightful state of things. Our present forms may cease to exist, but our souls will live on, and so long as they do, we will eventually return to the world. As I said last time, when we got the bad ending. I got murdered by Didier, and I stabbed him as well, so it didn't turn out so well. Let us press onward, not fearing a temporary end. Well said, Michelle. If I had feet, you'd just spelt me right off them. Georges, I'm beginning to wonder what would happen if I threw you at the wall. Now, let's not do anything hasty. Oh, for God's sake. You're the guide. Well, let's go then, shall we? Morgana's right. There's a severe lack of gravity to the affair, but thanks to George's lackadaisical nature, whatever fear I had is gone as well. His ever playful interactions bring me back to when I was alive, to when it was just me and my two brothers. Fond memories of the times we had together, of the admiration I had for them, of me chasing after them. Nothing could possibly replace those days, and I'm glad I had a chance to reflect on them, if briefly before the end. I take a few steps forward, stopping just in front of the door, and Morgana steps up beside me. I envision the light that lies beyond it, radiant and white, waiting to rip through the darkness. The light we seek, that we've long sought. I take in a deep breath, once again, look at the door, place my hand on the hard surface, push it open, welcoming the future it holds. But as it turns out, nope, it's a crusader. That's like, execute, I'm going to frickin' kill you, you know? Burn the witch. Crucify the impure. Now we step back. It's not blinding realm of light, but rather blackness instead of blood and rust. A lot of metal clanking, and it's a knight. Haha! Ta-da! This guy again. You know, the art looks kind of cool actually. You know, the way he's just like walking towards you. I guess is intimidating, but if you look at this by itself without any context, it looks actually quite heroic. Actually, the way his cape flows around him and everything. Anyway, I'm just going a little bit faster because we've seen this already. I never summoned this thing. I didn't do it. It's not my fault. Well, it's no longer the witch, but a young girl. I stare at night. It's our holy duty. You have the dice of church. I'm gonna kill the heathens. The night draws nearer and nearer. Its movement is sluggish but constant. Didier. Wait, for real? I mean, obviously the difference this time is that Georges is here, so maybe he'll convince him to not kill us. I don't know. Cast judgment upon the demon. The word witch coming from the delirious, vengeful phantom's mouth proves far more distressful for Morgana than me. Oh, well, hold on. What's Dee doing here? Please come to your senses, Didier. I know it's you. Judgment, crucifixion, execution. No, I'm not a witch. It's partially, I still can't say that word. Occluded, maybe? Occluded by the dark, arriving my asthma, enveloping by the the same as literally I knew in life. He's unwaveringly determined to see us executed. Didier, this is not how I hoped our reunion would go, Didier. Why, after so long? Is this how the three of us find each other again? I also don't know how I'm saying Didier, right? I always keep saying Didier, but I don't know if that's wrong too. It's like Didier, or like Didier, or da-da-day-da-dew, I don't know. Let me just flash in my mind. The day I left the Bollinger estate, or Bollinger, I want to say Bollinger, Bollinge? Still don't remember how you're supposed to say it. But the day I left the estate, when Didier promised me we would one day meet again, them giving me a hug before I climbed into the carriage. First Didier, then Georges. Is this my fault? Is he here because I wish to be reunited with my brothers? This is the way fate chose to grant that wish. Burn the witch. Well, look at that. Guess I'm not your only block-headed brother, huh? Georges. Before you get any bright ideas, Michelle, it's not your fault our long-awaited family reunion didn't quite go as planned. Just like me, Dee cursed himself. Only it seems his was a whole lot more powerful. God, I really didn't pay a lick of attention to either of you, did I? The unclean witch must be purified from this world. It is my duty. Hey Dee, are you in there? I shoved a whole lot of crap to your plate. Keeping up the family name, taking care of Mom, just about everything I could leave to you, I did. I must uphold the honor of the family name. And then when it was all over, I blamed you for killing our little brother. I was convinced that you could do anything, that you were stronger than anyone. Crucify the witch. I'm sorry, Dee. Burn the witch. He continues his plodding march forward, seemingly unaffected. It's impossible to tell if George's words are getting through to him. Stop, Didier, please. And my words don't seem to be either. Didier. He's closing in on us and we're running out of space to retreat. Alright, Dee. If that's how it's gonna be. But just this once, okay? The knight takes another heavily, merciless step towards us. The exit's right there. We're backed up against the wall. The end was almost within our grasp. Yet it seems so hopelessly far away now. Please, Didier, don't do this. I know you don't actually want to hurt anyone. Didier! The knight raises his sword, thrusting it forward with a sharp whoosh. Death! But then, breaking free from my grasp, the painting leaps into the air. I'm really sorry. He got stuck with a pair of Dulcifer brothers. Georges! The next second, my eldest brother's blade pierces Georges. Georges! His form wavers momentarily, before fading into the darkness, his voice lingering behind. Don't worry about me, Michelle. I got my share of redemption already. I know it can be a bit of a pain, but do for D what you did for me, would you? Now go on, call out to him. Suck in a big old breath, and call out to our brother with everything you've got. Georges. It is my duty to punish the impure. To uphold the Belinda name. Didier! So I have already stabbed Georges, and I continues his march, blade pointing straight at me. I clench my teeth and glare at my eldest brother. Running is out of the question. This doesn't have to go on any longer. It is my duty, as the eldest son. You deserve to be free from your bonds as well. Be gone from this world. Didier! I shout his name with every ounce of air in my lungs. His eyes go wide, as his blade swerves off course, missing my heart. And piercing my gut instead. Well, it still hit me. Didier, it's okay, you can let go now. It's not your responsibility anymore. You have no duty to anything anymore. Didier! I reach a hand out for my brother. Blood spills from the hole in my abdomen in rhythmic spurts. I can feel something hot rising in my throat. It doesn't stop me. It doesn't stop my hand crawling through the air toward him. He's my brother. I have to do whatever I can for him. Free him, bring him back. Didier, there's nothing here. It needed your judgment. With shaking fingers, I clasp my brother's arm. I squeeze, holding out what vigor remains, and give another shout. Look at me in the eyes, Didier. Please. Hear my voice. Hear your brother's voice. I can't stand to lose anyone else. If you don't come to your senses, then George's sacrifice will have been in vain. It's time for you to break free, for all three of us to be free, of the curses we place on ourselves. Didier, please. I hear a sound that's somewhere between a grunt and a gasp. What does that sound like? Like that? My vision's gone blurry, so I blink hard several times, clearing my eyes to get a better look at him. Didier. I see his face, twisted in anguish. Michelle. Didier. Oh, thank goodness. You heard my voice. Did I do this to you, Michelle? It's nothing. I've made the same terrible mistake once more. Didier, I caused you harm, attempted to take your life. It's alright, Didier. Michelle, release yourself from the chains that bind you. But those aren't your duties anymore. You don't have to protect the family name, or uphold the orders and standards. You can do as you wish. Punish me for my wrongdoing, please, Michelle. Punish me. Didier, cast judgment upon me. It's all in the past. Judgment is not necessary for anyone. That doesn't change what I did. I killed you. I hanged you from a cross. I must be made to pay for my sins. Punish me, Michelle. I implore you. Didier, I think I know now why you never removed your helm that day. Why you remained silent for the whole ordeal. Michelle, you were crying, weren't you? Weeping for me. Your tears are atonement enough for me. Michelle, you bore a great deal of responsibility in life. As the Belinger's firstborn, you are obligated to protect the family's honor. As a knight of the church, you were tasked with the duty of my execution. You had no other choice. I sincerely believe there's nothing else you could have done. I bear no grudge against you, no resentment for the decisions you were forced to make. I certainly don't curse you. Let's just forget it all. It's long over and done. Still, it was a mistake I never should have made. I took the life of the purest soul I know. There's no honor in that. Lydia, I put protecting the family name above protecting my actual family. You trusted me. You believed me to the very end, and I killed you. I knew what I was doing. I knew you weren't cursed. I knew you weren't a witch. I knew you weren't a demon child. You were never unclean. You were my brother, your family. And I robbed you of your life. There's no one in this world more unfit to be a knight than me. You don't have to be a knight anymore. You don't have to be the Belindra's firstborn son. Deciding not to wear those labels won't make you any less the brother I always loved. I'm honored to have been born in the same family as you. Michelle, there's something I never had the chance to tell you, dear. All my life, I looked up to you, admired you, and I still do, even now. If there's a next life awaiting us, I hope we can be brothers again, dear. Would you mind if I wish for that? No, of course not. Please do. And I hope you'll allow me to wish for the same. I love you, Michelle. My dear little brother. Upon those words, Didier's phantom begins fading away. A white mist, that almost looks like it's made of undulating particles of light, rises up around him. And before he's completely enveloped, I catch a glimpse of the tears streaking his cheeks. It's the first time I've ever seen him crying. I attempt to give him a smile in return. But if I were to guess, I say it probably looks rather forced. The fact that I'm fighting back tears at the same time certainly isn't doing anything to make it convincing. Before he's completely faded away, I wrap my arms around my brother's shoulders, much like he did for me in the day of my exile. Not as an eternal farewell, but as a promise that we'll meet again. Didier, Georges, right now in this moment, I have no regrets of having been born a Belinger. Still, it's not saying that right, but I'm just gonna say it like that. All I have is a great pride. So I pray that one day, be it 10 or 1,000 years from now, the three of us can be reunited, assuming the Earth doesn't explode in 1,000 years. You never know. We could all end up in nuclear war, and then there's no humans left. Anyway, don't worry about it. I've got a number of things going through my mind right now. Morgana, I'm just not sure how to put any of it into words. Well, there you go, though. I was definitely wondering what Didier's whole deal was. You know, it's kind of, I guess it's just implied that he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Should he betray his entire purpose in life, which is to become a knight and to protect the family name? That's the whole point why he's the way he is, like his duty versus actually, you know, not killing his brother. But so obviously he ended up choosing like the path that he was always walking towards, but obviously he regrets that, you know. Anyway, don't worry, those words say everything. You can cry if you want. I won't mock you, I promise. No, I won't cry. I'll save my tears for our reunion. Oh, that painting. I didn't have to get herself destroyed. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Really? I was wondering actually, does George's, I mean, technically if you die in this realm, apparently your soul gets destroyed, you get erased from existence. But here was like a painting, so I don't know if that counts. But I guess Michelle thinks he'll be fine. I have faith. And as you know quite well, wishes do come true. Would you mind giving me a hand, Morgana? I'm going to need a little help getting back up. My skeletal hand. Well, it's kind of, she only has one hand though. This is this bony hand. After a moment's pause, she hesitantly extends her fleshless hand. I clasp the bones and with her aid pull myself to my feet. Blood spurts from my gut as I do. There's not much in the way of pain, strangely, only creeping exhaustion. I feel like my legs will give out if I so much as give them a chance. Leading our Morgana, we make our way back to the entrance. Let's do this again, take 2. You're not going to disappear, are you? Don't worry, Morgana. I won't disappear. Alright. Let's open the door, together. Bring light to this world of darkness. Move forward. Start anew, brighter. Let's. I've taken a deep breath, once again. Look up at the door, my eyes on the future. It's time to open the door, but not to an ending, but the door to a new beginning. Yeah. Very cheesy, a very cheesy line, but sure. May the world that awaits us be filled with light. I was really I mean, I'm gonna say it anyway, but I was really biting my tongue. I didn't want to ruin the moment, but like that reminds me of the ending of Kingdom Hearts, which is a spoiler, by the way. I mean, it's an old game, but you know, there's a similar thing. It's like the main character goes, "Kingdom Hearts is light," you know, and then it opens the door and like light everywhere. Anyway, it was so dumb. But well, I guess we did it. We went into the light. I wonder where Giselle is, though. Let's see. Immersed in near blinding light, we press onward. It's wide in all directions, not the tiniest speck of color to contaminate it. In fact, the concept of direction doesn't seem to exist in this world. Only pure, never-ending white. Actually, no. That's not right, now that I consider it. I was thinking of white as an absence of color. A white, the color, fills this plane. No, actually, well, isn't it the opposite? Well, actually, I don't know. I always forget. I thought black was the absence of color, or is it the other way around? Maybe it depends. Anyway, it's all disappearing. We made the right choice, didn't we? Oh, I just noticed, by the way, her little thing here. Obviously, she's missing. I didn't notice there's a little bit of a sleeve there. Anyway, we made the right choice, didn't we? Yes, this is how it is meant to be. You're a rather impressive man, I hope you realize. Not only did you free 3 trapped souls, you also saved your brother. I didn't do any of that alone. Without help, I doubt I would have made it this far. I would have shattered yet again, until nothing was left. And Giselle gave you that strength? She did. So what? You going to wait here for her? I am. In that condition, I won't let myself disappear before she's made it back. Do you remember the warning I gave you in the mansion? About how if a soul is damaged and destroyed, it's wholly and utterly erased from existence? Never to return in any shape or form. If you lose much more blood, that's what will happen to you. You'll be erased forever. Don't worry, I won't let that happen. You push yourself too hard, Michelle. I feel like you're hurt in some way almost every time I see you. Though I suppose that about half of that would be my doing. Whoops. You may have caused me some pain, but I also wouldn't be here without you. What? I mean it. If you say so. Besides, I have practically only ever seen you hurt too. I suppose so. Whatever form your soul may assume in your next life, I'll be praying there's far less pain in it for you. This is why I'll never get along with you. Always concerned about others. Can I ask you something? If you were to be born again, would you want it to be in a fully male body? That's what I've always wanted, so yes, I would. In your next life, if you have one, do you want to see Giselle again? Absolutely, I do. And what if you can only have one or the other? Well, this is similar to the, I remember Yukimasa saying that to Mel, you know, would you save your sister or this guy? Which would you choose? Do you even need to ask? No, I suppose not. You know, I'm neither a witch nor a saint, just an ordinary powerless soul now. So my wishes aren't likely to cause any more miracles. But I think I'll wish for something anyway. For what? Not telling. Smile. Another smile. Well, I'll be off then. Alright. I didn't think it'd be so difficult to come up with parting words. You can say whatever you like. The first thing that comes to mind is fine. Okay, then I'll say to you the same thing I said to them. Farewell, Michelle. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Farewell, indeed. If by some infinitesimally low chance, we do happen to meet again, would you be my friend? Just be my friend. Morgana. Absolutely. I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm not a nice person, you know. I'm nothing like the white-haired girl. I'm sure to be off-putting and rude, to cause you much grief and pain. Don't worry. I'm resilient enough to handle a little pain without pulling away. You're fine as you are. You don't need to change. So let's meet up in our next lives and become good friends. Not good friends and not acquaintances either. Just plain friends, understood? Understood. I'm rather looking forward to it. Now, this is goodbye for real, so I suppose I'll part with some uncharacteristic honesty. I'm glad to have had you in my life, Michelle, and thank you for everything. Morgana. Farewell, until our souls cross paths once more. But now you're stealing my line. Oh well, we vanish. Okay. It's so quiet. So unbelievably desolate. Giselle, you endure centuries waiting for me to return. I'll wait right here, for as long as I must. Well, time to learn how to meditate, by the way. This has gotta learn some meditation techniques. I could feel the mansion, that gathering place for the departed, fading away. I did it, Giselle. I broke the curse. I cast off the darkness. I saved Morgana, and all the other souls trapped there. I couldn't have done it without you. I miss you, Giselle. All I wanted to see your face, to hear your voice, feel your warmth, tell you how much I love your smile. Where are you, Giselle? I know I said I wouldn't let myself disappear until you came back, and I'm wishing with all my might for my body to hold out, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. I'm coming to realize as I grow weaker, that the will of one man is nothing in the face of the will of the universe. Where are you, Giselle? I can't see you anywhere. I can see you right through my hands, Giselle. My lower body is already gone, and the rest of it is following. I hope you'll still be able to find me, even without a body. I've lost my voice now, Giselle. I don't have much left to lose. I'm dissolving into the light. Say my name, Giselle. I want to hear you. Say my name. I'm here, waiting for you. Where are you, Giselle? Am I making it through to you? Even a little? I need you. I can't allow myself to disappear until you've returned. Giselle.
Algum dia você me deu a laranja
Oh, there she is. Michelle. Ah, yes, one final CG. Got your hair back, by the way. I thought you got a haircut, but anyway. Finally, I finally found you. I'm sorry it took so long. Don't worry, Michelle. I know that's you. I'll always be able to recognize you no matter what. You don't have to be afraid. I wouldn't have made it out if it weren't for you, Michelle. A ray of light reached deep into the darkness, all the way down to where I was lost. It was a light more radiant than anything I've ever seen. So much so I couldn't hold back my tears. You fought so very hard. You broke the mansion's curse, released it from the darkness. I was right about you. You are strong. Immeasurably so. Can you hear me there, Michelle? I'm sorry for keeping you waiting for so long, for letting you deteriorate like this. But thank you. Thank you for waiting. Now it's time for us to return, back to our rightful places. So please, Michelle, don't disappear on me. Don't let your soul's flame be extinguished. I beg you, keep holding on. There's still so much I need to tell you. I want to hear your voice. I want you to feel your arms around me once more. I don't care when, as long as I can have that someday. So that means I need you to not disappear on me. Michelle. Michelle. I believe in you, Michelle. I believe you're still there, that you're still holding on. So I ask that one day, you'll come and take my hand again. There you go. Okay, credits. I don't know if it's gonna be a post scene or anything, but there you go. Age of Death 27. That's kind of okay. It's kind of morbid, but it's kind of like a funeral, you know? It's like you name all these people who have died. But it really is. I mean, that is technically a story about people who are already dead in the realm of death. Yeah, Brazazi. Oh, it's like 26 and 67. Like the two deaths, I guess. Yukimasa Aida. Okay, I didn't know his last name really. Anyway, but yeah, I assume these are the credits. You know, very morbidly, they're just showing the death ages, I guess, of these people. And also, oh, okay, that confirms it, by the way. He died at 24, so Mel probably did, like, you know, kill himself in the first story anyway, you remember? But yeah. So there you go. I mean, I guess I'll talk about my thoughts. I mean, for one, I stayed silent for most of the scene at the very end, by the way, because, you know, I felt like you should. And also, the music was very good. So that's probably the number one thing that I would say about this game. The music is kind of awesome. It's really good. It reminds me of Nier Automata. You know, it's kind of at that level. I believe the songs and lyrics aren't, they're not chaos language, I guess, you know, just like Nier. It is a real language. I'm not familiar with it, but I think it's Dutch, right? Is it Dutch or Spanish or something like that? Or it was some kind of language, I think. But yeah. But since, you know, it's foreign to me, it sounds very mysterious and everything. But maybe if you speak the language, it makes sense. Oh. Actually, there's more maybe? Oh, okay, that wasn't the credits, it was just okay. Well, let's continue then, because apparently we're in high school, by the way. Remember when I said how everyone should be like a slice of life high school anime? I guess we're back here. It's a high school anime now. No, it's back here. Hello? Anybody in there? Class about to start, and last I checked, the teacher never came in through the window. Oh, right. Just a second. You've been doing that a lot lately, just staring out the window like a anime protagonist. You watching for something or just spacing out? There's this girl who usually is out there around this time every day. Right over there, see her? That one. Looks like she goes to the junior high a few streets down. That's what I thought. But look at her hair, that flaxen color. It's almost the exact same color as mine. I can't get her out of my mind. Oh, really? If you're that interested, why not have a chat sometime? I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Obviously, you're gonna go over the old classic. Hey, baby, I get some ice cream, hang out. that's an old classic. That sounds like a great way to get slapped. I'm not trying to pick her up. You're lying to yourself, man. No, I don't know, like, I'm curious, that's all. And I'm curious what makes her head work, because it sure ain't what everyone else runs on. Get moving, it's almost time for class. Wait, I'm coming. Apparently, I guess... because this is Mel, and her, I guess his sister is not really his sister anymore, which therefore makes it okay, right? I don't know. I wonder what her name is. Well, it's Nelly, by the way. So I guess, I don't know, I guess it's not incest anymore, so it's fine, right? I don't know. Hey, did you hear about the new ice cream shop that just opened up down by the bus stop? I did. And I hear their mint is super good, too. Now I want to try it. What do you say? Well, check it out, let's go. Get some of that mint with a big pile of chocolate chips on top. Oh, I know, I'll get a double scoop. That sounds amazing. I'm gonna get a double too. I bet the line's gonna be crazy. We better get going or... what is it? There's a cute boy goes to that school there. I think we just locked eyes for a second. Now, what's he look like? A prince. A prince? Seriously? Don't you be making fun of princes now. You're not 9, you're 14. And you still haven't gone out of your fairy tale phase? Like, my god. Just you wait. One of these days I'll meet a real prince, and then you won't be laughing anymore. Like you ever get a real prince's attention. Hey, that's not very nice. Jerk, blockhead, meanie, baka. Come on, let's get going. Oh, fine. I'll show you one day. That is my prince. Oh, he is, as we know. Well, we couldn't be lucky to have a talented engineer like yourself assigned to our branch. You give me too much credit, sir. I assume this is Yukimasa. You don't give yourself enough credit. I've seen your record. You come highly recommended from HQ. I've got high hopes for you. The higher your hopes, the greater the fallout which when I make a mistake, which frightens me. What you call a mistake is what we generally refer to as a great accomplishment. I don't think I've ever met anyone as close to the perfect human being as you. Okay, he wished so much to be human, he literally became the perfect human being. I am far, far from perfect. You Japanese really are a humble lot, aren't you? What is it? I thought I just saw a woman I recognized. Oh, we get a lot of tourists from your parts of the world around here. She's not Japanese. No, I must have been imagining it. This is my first time in France, after all. Okay, that confirms it, by the way, that the present time is France. So he notices Pauline, though. And there's the Eiffel Tower. The art museum. Shopping! How could you take a vacation to France and not want to see the art? We were there all day yesterday. You agreed before we left today would be shopping day. That was before I realized just how big it was. Just how many beautiful paintings they had on display. There's no way one day is enough to see it all. One whole day of my vacation bored out my skull. Not like you eat the stuff, so what good is it anyway? Please? How about this? We go to a different museum, just no art this time. Oh, what kind of museum you don't want to look at art? A torture museum. A torture museum? What do you... I think I hate you. Line up. You telling me you don't want to see the centuries of torture devices from all around the world? Okay, this is Mario, by the way. This has to be Mario. It's Mario. Absolutely not. Then we stick to the plan and go shopping. Oh, have it your way. But you didn't have to be so... Watch out! Behind you! What? Ah! God damn, that hurt. Oh, I'm sorry. Learn where to watch where you're walking, why don't you? If you're so desperate to make a damn ruckus, go find a cafe somewhere out of the way. Well, excuse me, princess. Well, excuse me. I apologize, didn't I? I don't need to be such a dickwad. Have you ever heard of talking or yelling the only thing you're capable of? This is why I can't stand tourists. Have some damn consideration for the people who aren't just to fool around, or aren't here to just fool around. For the love of God. The hell's got your panties in a... And he's gone. Okay. That sure was something. Something is right. An unsufferable asshole, more like. Burn it out, motherfucker. That said, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Nah, it's just your imagination. Is it Jacopo? Because I think that's Jacopo. You there, the paper. Good lord, the stock market is a damn mess. You know, he's still capitalist. What a nightmare. The tourists don't know how to shut up. The French are a bunch of stuck-up snobs. The pizza is awful. Nobody knows how to make a spaghetti. Maybe I should just pack up my bags and forget it all. Oh yeah, he's probably Italian, by the way. What the hell is this? An article about the human voice. Scientists are studying the effects or frequencies the human voice have on the brain. Keep this mumbo jumbo out of the paper, my god. That's funny, because that sounds like Morgana's whole thing. Save it for some paranormal or science magazine. Back to the stocks pages. Ah, damn it, the wind got my hat. What is wrong with today? I believe this is yours. Yeah. Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Have a nice... hold on a second. Yes? First off, before I say anything, I'm not trying to hit on you. Don't get the wrong idea. Now, have we met before? We have, yes. When? And where? A long, long time ago. Much too long for you to remember. Excuse me? Our paths crossed in the mansion, many, many years ago. I'm glad to see that you haven't changed a bit. I'm not particularly in the mood for jokes and supernatural nonsense today. I'm quite serious. One more question. Do we have any shared acquaintances? We do, yes. Though I cannot say whether she is here or not. Hopefully you have the chance to cross paths with her. I too am looking for someone. Or is that I'm trying to think, is the woman, because I don't know if the woman is Giselle or is she Morgana, I'm not sure. Have a good day, sir. Yeah, goodbye. You know, it's all implied, so we just only assume. I'm not sure actually, is it Morgana or is it Giselle? I was thinking maybe it was Giselle, because otherwise, I feel like that's why she would say you were looking for someone else, but... Because what would Jacob look for? You know, he's not looking for Giselle, obviously. He's not looking for anyone else, but Morgana probably. So that was probably Giselle, I think. Anyway, then how would she remember though? Because that's mysterious. Because why would she remember everything? That's weird. I would think Morgana would be the one to remember everything though. Or maybe she's talking about the white-haired girl, but the white-haired girl is obliterated. I don't know. Anyway, there's the music though. There are memories ingrained in my soul. Over the years, they've grown gradually more distinct. And now, at the age of 21, I remember everything. Were I to tell this to anyone, they would think me mad. So I kept it to myself my whole life. I remember many ages ago there was a mansion. There I met and lost someone dear to me. There I waited for him to return. Okay, him. Okay, so him is probably then it's a cell then. I remember all the centuries I spent waiting. And I remember he almost lost his soul trying to save me. I am once again waiting for him. I'm making my way to where that mansion once stood. A single red rose in hand. A rose containing all my hopes, my dreams, and my love. A prayer that I might one day reach you. Roses make wonderful gifts after all. I probably sound like I'm out of my mind. Waiting for a man who only exists as only my memories. A man who in my 21 years of life, I've never once even caught a glimpse of. But that doesn't matter, because I know how much he means to me. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I will wait. I will trust the memories burned into my soul. I don't know when he'll show up, or if he even will. Maybe we'll never meet in this life. Maybe I'll wait till I've grown old and died. But should that happen, I'll continue waiting for you in my next life. Because I've already waited like 1,000 years. I'm quite a pro at this, you know? And the one after that if I have to. I'll always be waiting. No matter how long it may take. How great the obstacles that stand in my way. Or what form he may assume. I'll wait as long as it takes. Another 100, another 1,000 years. So just promise you'll come back for me. Michelle? Alright, is this the real credits? Okay, so just left like ambiguous whether or not they'll meet again. But probably they will, you know, probably, you know. Why would they not? It's kind of like a sequel bait, you know? Even I don't think there's a sequel to this game, there is a prequel. I don't know if I'll check that out anytime soon, but, you know. I do believe, so there's some differences by the way, I kind of looked it up. I don't know obviously I don't know the exact details, but I've looked up a few features of the remastered version. So the remastered version, I believe, obviously has better resolution for one. The story's the same though. The character sprites I believe are the same and everything. The CGs look different though, which is weird. Like they don't even look better, they just look completely different, which is just weird to me. But yeah, what's it called? I forget what it's called, but Revenants or something. But it's like definitive edition of the House in Fata Morgana that includes a prequel in it. And I believe you can only get it on the PS3, I want to say. PS Vita and PS3, or was it PS4 or PS3? I can't remember. But it's on a console, so it was never ported to the PC so far anyway. People have been asking for it, but you know, it isn't a thing. But yeah, the backgrounds I believe are like, you know, they look a little slightly better, less blurry, I guess. And everything, but otherwise though, most of it's the same. Apparently there's some like new content a little bit, which, you know, after going through all this, I think I'm okay with that. You know, I feel like there's already a little bit of padding, not as much as other visual novels, but a little bit of filler. I feel like where they could have just went a little faster. You know, not as much as other visual novels, I have to say though. So at least there's that. But generally speaking, you know, it drags on a little bit too much. So adding even more content isn't exactly a good thing in my eyes, because then it'll be even slower, right? But apparently the number one thing, however, is the fact that apparently in the remastered version there is a extra epilogue, I guess you would say. probably, you know, of all the characters meeting up again and everything, you probably get a little bit of Michelle and Giselle actually meeting up in the modern times. You know, spoilers. Even though, I mean, obviously it's gonna happen. You think it's not gonna happen? It's always gonna happen. They're just gonna meet up again. You know, it's like, we found each other, and then they hug or something or kiss. I don't know. You can imagine it probably. It's like you don't need the writer to tell you that. Then again, I don't know if there's gonna be another scene, maybe. It just says thank you for playing. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I imagine they finally get there happily after all that. And it was such a long journey, actually, you know, not super long. I mean, compared to other visual novels, I guess. I've only clocked in like, I don't know, like 48 hours, or I want to say, it says 48.9 on my playtime. I don't know if it's longer than that. Because I don't know if it counts like after I click on the play button or not. So maybe add 4 or 5 hours up to that, so maybe like 50-ish hours. 53, 54, I don't know. So it's not super long, but felt long. Oh, actually, don't worry. Apparently, it's a bit more. It's another post-credit scene. Don't worry. You don't have to wait any longer. Giselle. Okay, well, I assume it's Michelle saying that. And then he shows up, and then they... Oh, I'm here for you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And... Ta-da! Okay. They do show a little scene at the end. I mean, you know, as I expected. Obviously, I mean, come on. After all that, I assume, yeah, she smiles, and because she sees him, and then they make out. I guess, I don't know, or at least I assume. I mean, I guess it'll show. I was gonna say she probably like, you know, jumps towards him or something. Wearing a corset though, that's kind of weird to me, but there he is. His hair is a lot shorter. Oh, it's because he's wearing a ponytail. Okay, still as long as ever though. In that case, what is he wearing, by the way? I don't know. It doesn't look super modern though. Like maybe near like after World War II or something. I wonder, maybe, because these clothes don't look super modern to me. It's like maybe around that era. Anyway, there are memories ingrained in my soul. I remember there once stood a mansion here, in which many tragedies took place, in which great pain was suffered. Much of what happened in those walls were unspeakable, but there are events I should never have forgotten. Because amidst all the misfortune, I attained something irreplaceable. Giselle, there's so much I have to say, so much I want you to know, but I'm sure I'll have plenty of time to get to all that. So for the time being, allow me to say this. Giselle. Your smile is the light of my life. I want to spend my days with you. With that smile always at my side. And nothing to get in our way. Are we done yet? I don't know. I mean, it's touching and everything. Okay, there you go. Ending 8. Fata Morgana. There you go. Title drop. Wow. I assume Fata. I'm gonna take a wild guess, and maybe Fata means fate in Latin. Like fate, the fate of Morgana, maybe? Or it could be something else, I'm not sure. Who's this? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I ask of thee, O Father, . to bestow upon their souls thy blessing. Okay, I assume this is Morgana, by the way. Morgana making the wish before she vanished, you know, in the white void, I think. That's the wish she made. So at the end, you know, she just... Also got prologue achievement? That's kind of weird. But there you go! Okay, finally! You never know when it ends, just like the actual visual novel. Like the rest of the visual novel, but there you go. The House of Fata Morgana. There you go, that's the ending. Okay, so let's give me my thoughts. So I already said before, I compared it to the remastered version. I think, you know, if you're interested, maybe you can check out the remastered stuff, but I feel like it's just extra stuff, you know? It's not really, because usually what I want out of a story is the core, you know, the core of the story, not so much just extra fluff. Maybe I've been interested, but that's not really important to me anyway. But yeah, so I feel like I feel like you don't really need to go through the remastered version. But I guess if it ever comes out on PC, maybe it's the better version. Who knows? Anyway, what else to say? Okay, well, let's see. I guess like a little mini, you know, summary and review of my thoughts on the game. Again, the music is great. The art is mostly good. I feel like it's well done. I have to say that sometimes it's a little uncanny valley though. I've noticed, you know, certain CGs or whatever, sometimes a little too real, you know? That's not to say the art is bad, it's just sometimes it's just done too well, you know? It's like it mimics actual real life, so like it looks a little bit too real, and sometimes the characters look kind of ugly in the sense that, like for example, I remember when Mel, you know, you look at the side of his face, you know, it kind of looks weird. It's like pseudo-anime, but not really, it's like more like a gothic style, I guess. But for the most part, the art is good. The background's definitely something that's maybe addressed in the remastered version or whatever. Or I don't know what we call it, but I guess it's a remastered version. The backgrounds definitely are a little like not really detailed at all. I guess they just kind of saved their budget, you know, on the backgrounds and didn't really bother making it too fancy. You know, it looks mostly just like photographs, but like blurred out or something. I don't know. I guess they really focus on that too much. It's just there, you know, it's just background, it's not really important, so they didn't focus that too much, but yeah. Other than that though, the art is good, I like the CGs and stuff. What else? The writing, like, technically speaking, like the technical writing is very good, by the way. I'm actually very impressed of how the game was localized, because it seems like it's kind of perfect, you know, there's no spelling or grammar mistakes as far as I know. It's like one time I even questioned whether it was a grammar mistake. I don't even know, but it seems like pretty good. I say sometimes like how I wondered sometimes how it was translated and everything, but you know, it still works completely fine. Maybe my standards is just very low because I've played like, you know, other types of visual novels that doesn't put as much work into the whole, you know, technical writing aspect, but in this game, definitely you can tell money was put into making sure every single sentence and word made sense. So that's good. I like that. Wow, the narrative itself, though, or the narrative. Why can't I say that word? The story itself was what I'm trying to say, which is obviously the meat of the visual novel. I would say, well, like a few things. I feel like the pacing, again, it's a little slow at times. I feel like there's like, especially in the beginning, you spend so much time going through all these stories. I felt like could be a little bit faster, or otherwise, the one where, for example, you're walking up the stairs, you know, learning about Morgana's story. I mean, that's kind of like a big chunk of the game near the end was learning about Morgana, which is cool. I like that. I like the concept, but definitely at times it like it dragged on, especially when we learned about it the first time, you know. I felt like we could just skip to the time travel part without learning about the story in the first place, you know, and like from a third-person perspective. I felt like it would have hit harder if we learned through it the first time while experiencing it, or at least, you know, narratively speaking, I guess. If that makes sense. We didn't have to go through the story again and again. We didn't have to, like, you know, basically go through it like 4 times, you know. We already know about the story. It hits less, you know, emotionally. I feel like it just hits less the more you just refer back to it every single time. You don't need to do that. Just do it once, and, you know, I feel like people will remember. Unless, I don't know. Unless maybe I'm the weirdo, but definitely I prefer like something a bit more shorter, I guess. Shorter but sweeter, if that makes sense. You know, a tighter experience is more important to me than just like filling up the page with more words, you know. It's like trying to add more fluff in your like essay, hand in an assignment and everything. But definitely this game does it better than most visual novels, I think. Ironically, the longer the visual novel, the more difficult it is to read, and as like I guess how you should say it, but like rated, I guess, by other people who like visual novels, I guess. But I don't know, I actually prefer a visual novel is actually like it just sets out what it wants to do and that's it. It doesn't add like extra stuff, like not too much anyway, because I feel like it's better when it's implied rather than simply told to you a million times. Again, this game, however, does it better than most though, because I'm still reminded of my Fate Stay Night visual novel playthrough, like Kire, the priest, keeps telling you about, by the way, this is how magic works, and you gotta do this, and that happened at one time, It's like, it's just so much of like history, detailing the universe, and how the mechanics of magic works, in Fate Stay Night, which I think it's just a Nasu thing as well. He likes doing that, the author of Fate Stay Night. I think he likes explaining how magic works in his world and stuff like that, having rules and everything. That's cool in its own way, but it doesn't really appeal to me. I don't care about that. I care about the emotional impact of the actions the characters take. I don't care about how you summon a bunch of swords and stuff like that. That's not really interesting to me. And so that's what I like about this game, however. What it does well is that it doesn't focus too much on the supernatural aspect. It did a little bit, but I do like the fact that it's there as a tool, to develop the characters and develop the themes, and basically the whole plot is that it isn't just like, by the way, use magic fireball or whatever, it's just there. It doesn't explain everything about it. It's just like a mysterious, ambiguous thing, and that's not the point of the game to explain the magic. It's more so to explore the characters' relationships with each other and how they interact with each other and stuff like that. So that's what I like. I like the fact that there's no big anime sword fight at the end. I mean, well, there kinda is, sort of in like a bad ending, but not to the point where it's like, I must defeat you with the power of love, and then it coalesces into a big anime sword, and we have like a big anime fight. I shoot laser beams out of my hand. No, none of that, because that's not the point, I feel like, of having fantasy elements in the story. At least, the way I like it anyway. It's less about the actual magic, it's more about how the magic facilitates the conflict between the characters, right? That's what I like. I feel like that's the core of this visual novel, is human drama, which is something not every story does, but I kind of like, right? The conflict between people rather than like something that's not a person. Like, for example, like in other like stories, it would be like a hero fighting like a evil villain, and it's like the conflict is the fact that the world is gonna get destroyed or something, or something like that. That's okay in its own way, but it's much more interesting to explore the the conflict that arises from people just being shitty to each other, but it's awesome, or well, not awesome in a like, it's great that it happens to people, but it's more interesting anyway. It's much more interesting conflict, because you could if you don't relate to the actual characters plight, I don't imagine everyone has their blood drawn out and get their arms chopped off. At least I don't think the majority of humanity has gone through that sort of thing, and that's kind of the point of the visual novel. But you can at least relate to the emotional, feelings of the characters and stuff like that, right? And that's what makes it more, I don't know, fun to go through, I guess. I have to say, though, I guess, on the other hand, though, it does become a little melodramatic at times. It definitely becomes, like, literally Shakespeare. He's like, woe is me. This bad thing happens, and it's like, especially the first part of the game, where it's like, obviously this bad thing happens. It's like, it's all a coincidence, but it's fated as well. It's like, the worst possible timing, the worst possible misunderstandings happen to all of these people. It's sort of explained in the sense that it's intended. It was Morgana's curse and everything, but I kind of don't like that, though. Even if it's like intentional, I still don't kind of like that it's still, made to be written that way in the story, right? It's like a little bit too dramatic in that sense, right? It's like, of course this bad thing happens, because it's like you can't expect anything else. If it kind of makes it predictable in that sense, right? But I don't know. That's like a small thing I kind of don't like. But I don't know how else you would do it though. I'm not sure because it seems like you had to have every part of the story, I guess, to make it make sense. But if I was a better writer, maybe, which I'm not. But if I was a better writer, definitely maybe cut a little bit of fluff out. Like a little bit. You don't have to explain every single detail of the stories. Like we really should have, go. I don't know, I say faster, because pacing, when I say pacing though, pacing in a story doesn't necessarily mean literally go faster, because sometimes you do want to slow down, right, to digest the information and everything. I don't know, like scenes that don't really contribute much, stuff like that. There's like scenes here and there that don't. What I do like though, well, when I think about melodramatic scenes, I do like how sometimes the game does have a sense of humor. Sometimes, actually, at least I felt like it did. Sometimes there's something definitely. There's like some lighthearted scenes and everything, some comedy scenes. Very little indeed. But it definitely lightens up the mood sometimes, and I think that's the key to making something not so melodramatic. Because I feel like something's melodramatic if it's like a soap opera, right? So it's always bad things always happening all the time. Obviously, this worst possible thing is gonna happen because the characters don't communicate with each other, stuff like that. But if you add a little bit of humor, I feel like it makes it more relatable in that sense, because that's kind of like what life is, Sometimes you do just joke around. It's not everything is serious all the time, because otherwise it'll just be, I don't know, depressing, I guess, which is also kind of the point of the game. But I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, it's a visual novel, so other than talking about the story, I guess that'll be that. I don't know what else to say. Let me check the extras. This chapter select. There's a concert hall. I guess you can like check the music. There's an art gallery. Oh, it's for CGs most likely. I assume I got everything right. I assume so. I was saying before, yeah. By the way, I mean I like this most of the art. For example, this, by the way, I mentioned before, this thing, like him looking like that up to her. It's a little uncanny. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's like when you get like a bad side on someone, you know how like when you take a photo of someone, they say, "Oh, take my good side." Sometimes when you get a bad angle, it looks a little ugly. So in that sense, it's a little bit too realistic, But anyway, butterflies. I wonder where Morgana is, because I was wondering if Morgana, did she become a butterfly? I wonder. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what the symbolism means. I mean, the biggest plot twist. I mean, the twist. I like the twists as well. By the way, I mean, sometimes I kind of called it, but I still like them anyway. But the biggest one definitely was remember the title page? It's changed now, by the way. But the title page of this game was the white-haired girl and the maid, right? So you assume, from the first part of the game, it was just the girl and the maid. Obviously, things get more complicated later on. So the big choice between the white-haired girl and her being a reincarnation of Michelle, didn't click until later on. There's an ending list here, by the way. So let me just double check if I got all the endings. I assume so. There's not any missing endings, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So no, it doesn't look like it's missing anything. This is a prologue, apparently. I don't know if that's anything I need to check out, but I assume that's a normal game's prologue, right? Well, I'll check that out later. But anyway. So okay, I guess on YouTube, what I'm gonna say basically is I'll do the extra stuff and like a bonus thing, maybe check out the backstage, and maybe if there's anything extra I might do. Otherwise, I'll probably just leave it in like a extra bonus episode. But there you go. Let me just say that yeah, there you go. That's the house in Fata Morgana. Overall, pretty good game. Longer than I thought, but that's okay. I guess overall, I don't know, maybe I'm just a cynical bastard, but I feel like some people who go through this visual novel will be like, sobbing and crying about all the characters and everything. It's not like I don't sympathize with the characters, but definitely, I'm not saying like I don't cry at like sad things, but all I'm saying is that, they really emotionally resonate with me as much. Maybe it's because some of the situations are a bit extreme, I can relate to the emotions, but not so much the whole, like, trauma that all the characters go through. I don't know. It's not exactly the same, I don't know. Maybe also because of the history as well. Because we go through different time eras as well. It's kind of like, I already said before, like it's kind of hard for you to imagine what it's like back in the day, you know, in different time eras and everything. So maybe it's partly because of that as well. Because, you know, because that's how history kind of works, I guess. Society is a lot different than it is these days, and it's always changing, right? So, you know, sometimes you're kind of just used to the life you live in and what you consider normal, and you see a different era, it's kind of like, you know, a little alien to you what happens. But I don't know. Overall, though, I would say people say it's a masterpiece. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, but only because it's me, you know. I'm a weirdo, so it's subjective. If I have to give a number, it'd be like a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I would recommend it, but I wouldn't say it's a complete masterpiece. Because, I don't know. I feel like, because a masterpiece, you know, you can't really be objective with that. You know, whatever is a masterpiece to you depends on the person. And I feel like a masterpiece to me is if it really emotionally impacted me, and it didn't really happen in this game. It's very well done though, and I did have fun with it. Sometimes I make fun of it, you know, I mock it a little bit, but you know, I'm not saying it's bad, it's just it is fun though. It's fun to do it that way for me. So but yeah, there you go. Overall, it's a good visual novel. But yeah, I might there's a prequel. I don't know if I'll check it out ever, to be honest, but maybe. I don't know what the prequel is about though. You know, like what kind of story is there to tell? If there's gonna be a prequel to this game, I don't know. But maybe not anytime soon. But if the mood ever strikes me, then maybe I'll check out the prequel to this game, which is technically a sequel. It's like a sequel prequel. You know, it's like Star Wars, where like the prequel came after the original game, so it's like a sequel, but it's a prequel. It's a prequel in the story anyway. But yeah. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I guess I'll end it here. That'll be it for The House in Fata Morgana. If you're on YouTube, if you didn't know, I stream these games live on Twitch, so check me out over there if you're interested. And I also have other playthroughs on the channel, so you can live with those if you want. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you then.